Today is Wednesday, September 12th, 1990. Our champion, Lee Pritchard, is 2 steps away from an ultimate challenge worth $55,000. This is an architectural intern, Mary Dupuy. And this is a cab driver, Paul Fredericks. Lee is the champion. Mary and Paul, you are the challengers. And here is your master of the challenge, Dick Clark.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and welcome to the challengers. Today, Mary and Paul are in there ready to do battle with you, Lee. You got a nice bit of change there, $6,415, not to be sneezed at. Now, remember, any player who wins 3 games in a row will have a shot at our ultimate challenge, which has grown to $55,000. Good luck. In just a moment, I'll reveal the categories for the first half of play. First of all, we play the Challenger Sprint Round. This means that people are going to... Don't jump to your buzzers. This is an anxious group. They're ready to leap. I'm going to do this very methodically, and then you'll get a chance. The person who comes out with this gets the chance to control the board over there. You'll have 1 minute. During that time, I'll toss as many questions as time permits. You'll have $100 for correct answers. We'll take away $100 if you're wrong. The player that gets the most money when the time runs out will have the chance at the first selection from the category board. And for each of you, we've opened your own personal Citibank Visa account. Every dollar you earn in the game will be deposited to your account. The money and the benefits that go with the account are yours to keep. And I know you're set to play. That's the end of my speech. Now you can get your little hands on the hot little buzzers here. All right, set the clock at 1 minute, if you will, and we'll begin. Bill Cosby's getting some new competition this season from what, Paul?
The Simpsons.
The Simpsons is right. What Las Vegas entertainer didn't sing Dankeschön when his... Paul again?
Wayne Newton.
Wayne Newton, the $5 million libel suit was recently overturned. The DEA has a new chief named Robert C. Bonner. What administration do these initials stand for? Paul.
The Drug Enforcement Agency.
You're hot today.
That is not acceptable.
Say again, was that correct?
No, it was not.
I'll find out what happened. Lee?
Drug Enforcement Administration.
All right, that's correct. Thank you very much. One of the co-hosts of Good Morning America recently celebrated her 10th anniversary. Paul?
Joan London.
That's right, name her. Name the autumn holiday on which Americans do most traveling. Mary?
Thanksgiving.
Correct. Keyboard player Vince Welnick is grateful to have been recently asked to join what rock band? Lee?
Grateful Dead.
Correct. What scale is used to measure the magnitude of earthquakes? Lee?
Richter scale.
Correct. Name the princess whose older brother is first in line to be the King of England. Mary?
Anne.
Princess. Judge, will you accept
I will
Anne?
accept that. Yes.
You will. Princess Anne? Correct. All right. All right, Lee, you have control with the $300. That's the object of the sprint round. The person who comes out with the most amount of money gets the opportunity to select that first category. Now, we're ready to play the first half. Here's how it goes. You'll be out maneuvering and outguessing each other for the right to answer the questions. That'll appear on our video wall. We'll play 2 halves, and then we'll move to our final challenge round where we will determine today's winner. We'll see whether Lee can stack up a couple of days in a row, but Mary and Paul are in there ready to go. Let's turn to the first half of play. We've got He's Sly, Germany, Das ist gut, Name That Tune, Movies Now Playing, the National Piano Month, and What's Brewing. And Lee, it's up to you to get us underway.
Movies Now Playing, please.
Movies Now Playing. The $150 question deals with kids stuff. For $200, creepy stuff, devilish stuff for $250. The higher the dollar value, the tougher the question is going to be. If you will, now look to your personal electronic keypad, decide on the question you'd like to answer, and secretly lock in your choice right now. Okay, everybody. No, I'm sorry. We got 2 creepy stuffs over there, and we'll take care of the lower valued questions first. Mary and Paul, step up to the $200 challenge. Look to the video wall, and we'll roll a clip from the creepy summer hit film Arachnophobia. All right, now, looking at that guy, you can understand the film's advertising slogan, which is 8 legs, 2 fangs, and what? Time's up. It was an attitude. Attitude. All right. Lee, for $250, look to the video wall and watch this clip from the hit movie Exorcist 3, and if you will, roll the clip. Whoa! Now, that exciting scene was written and directed by the man who wrote the original novel, The Exorcist. Name him.
Friedkin?
No. I'm sorry, you know the answer now, won't you?
Laddie?
Laddie was right, but unfortunately he gave the wrong answer first. We'll be back in a second to continue the Challengers game right here. I'm just drawing a blank here and saying, thank goodness I'm on that side of the thing. You do body work? You better explain that.
Well, I do auto body work. It's a great way to relieve your frustration. I'm helping my brother and a friend of his restore a 36 Chevy Coupe.
You hammer out all of this stuff? Very good. Dear. You are a gardener. You can't get much gardening done in this drought, can you?
No, my garden's starting to look like tumbleweeds, actually. But there are a few
Succulents
things.
are very good in this
I'm going
work.
for cactus, yeah.
Paul, you're a writer and a cab driver. Where do you do your driving?
I drive in Vegas, Dick. The name of the book is I Died on the Nut, The Misadventures of a Las Vegas Cabbie.
We'll look forward to it. Good luck to you all. Now, let's see. We've got some subjects still left over here, and the game continues. And, Lee, I draw your attention to this because you'll make the selection. He's Sly. Germany, Das ist gut. Name that tune. The National Piano Month. It's National Piano Month. And what's brewing? What's your pleasure?
Name that tune?
Name that tune. All right, it may not be what you expected to be. The first one is video hits. The next one is Oscar winners. And the next one is re-releases for $150 to $250. Please select. All right, a couple of Oscar winners over there. Paul and Mary will go for the $200 question. The first cartoon feature since 1942 to win an Academy Award actually managed to win 2 Oscars this year. Paul? You've buzzed in, but I didn't hear you. What, you want to try to figure out?
Yeah, who killed Roger Rabbit?
No, sir. You didn't let me finish the question, so if you'll hold, and then, Mary, you'll have an opportunity to answer it if you want to at the end. There's only one question for both of you. All right. There you're, Paul. You're in there, Paul. I heard you.
Want to repeat the question?
The first cartoon feature since 1942 to win an Academy Award actually managed to win 2 Oscars this year. Get ready to look at the video wall, and I'll show you a character from that film. Now, Mary, you may, if you want, signal in and tell me the royal character's given name. Cue the wall. Recognize that little person?
And I didn't see the movie. I
Didn't see the movie, though. You're electing not to answer, I presume, because you'd be penalized if you're wrong. She's Ariel, the Little Mermaid. Was her name Ariel? All right, for $250, Lee, you're all by yourself on this one. The classic 1967 animated film has been re-released to a new generation of kids this year. Get ready to look to the video wall, and I'll show you the main character from that film, and you signal and name him. Cue the wall. Any idea who that is?
Mowgli?
That's right, and from the Jungle Book. Nicely done. Get yourself back up there on the scoreboard. Which one of these last 4?
What's brewing?
What's brewing, all right? For $150, we've got Bud Light. And we've got Corona, and we've got Guinness. Everybody, cheers. Here you go. Select the one you want to go with. 3 Coronas in a row. You know what that means? It's a 3-way race, and all of our questions will immediately double in value. Everybody goes for this one. You'll have an opportunity to sweep the board later on if you're right for $1,200. 1 question for the 3. The Corona question. Mexico's Corona beer has become one of the most popular imported beers in the United States. What is the regal meaning of the Spanish, Lee?
Crown?
Spanish word Corona means crown. That's it. Now, you got yourself out in front with $700. You can pick up $300 more, $500 more if you're right, and you'll lose the like amount if you're wrong.
I'll try Bud Light.
Bud Light, are they paying for this commercial by any chance? Bud Light's spokes dog, Spuds McKenzie, is a breed apart. What is his breed? Take a stab at it?
A pit bull.
Now, you're partially right, a bull terrier. Bull terrier. Sorry, Lee. Okay. All right, you still have control of the game. We've got a couple of subjects still left over there. Do we have 3? Yes, okay.
He's Sly, please.
He's Sly. Guess who it is, all right? The first one is on First Blood. The second one, First Love. First hit, $150 to $250. Please lock in your wager now. All right, 2 first hit questions. We'll hold on for a moment. Paul, let's take care of that $150 question. In the 1982 film, First Blood, Sylvester Stallone first brought to the screen a character named what?
Rambo.
Correct. Ladies, step up to the $250 challenge. In 1974, Sylvester Stallone had his first critical success in a film about a gang of young toughs. Lee rang in, didn't finish. What do you think I'm asking?
The Lords of Flatbush?
That's it. Name the film, The Lords of Flatbush. We'll be back in just a moment to play the second half of the game, and we're going to double the value. It really gets to be a hot race, then don't go away.
All news and current events questions are verified by Newsweek magazine. And now, back to the challengers.
Hey, time to check out our accounts here. Paul, you're at $150, preceded by Mary, and Lee, you're out in front with $650. It's still a good race. We're going to double the value of all the questions now. That's when it really gets tight, and the 6 categories we're going to be playing with are up there right now. We have the business of America, tricky diction, writing checks. This bud's for you, the artist palette, and general knowledge. And Lee, you've got the choice.
Let's try writing checks, please.
Writing checks. All right. Let's see. For $300, we have Mr. Hubble, Mr. Kafka, and Mr. Chapek. And you're going to now place your wager. Give it some thought for $300 to $500. All right. We have everybody in there for a different kind of a question. Paul will start with the first one. Václav Havel's new book is titled Disturbing the Peace, but he stopped disturbing the peace since he's been elected to the office in Czechoslovakia. Name the office.
He's the premier.
No, sir. He is the president, is the answer I needed. For $400, Lee, many readers have been bugged by Franz Kafka's famous story of a man who turns into a giant insect. What's the title of the book?
The Metamorphosis?
You are right. Mary, for $500, in Karel Čapek's best-known play, R.U.R., he introduced a new word to describe his characters without souls. What's the word?
Robot?
Yes. Oh. That's a tough one. She's amazed at herself. Mary, we've got 5 subjects over there. Which one pleases you?
Oh, goodness, it's me.
Yes.
Tricky diction.
Tricky diction. All right, let's see what we've got here for $300. I am not a crook. I am not a quitter. I am not the president anymore. 2 guesses as to what this is about. Please select the one you want to wager on and go now. All right, I am not a crook questions prevail here. Mary and Lee, we have one question for the 2 of them, if you will, hands on buzzers. At a press conference in 1973, Richard Nixon insisted, I am not a crook, in the midst of a major crisis in his administration. What is the one-word name for that crisis, Lee?
Watergate.
Watergate is correct for $300. Paul, you got to do a little catching up, and you can do so with this $400 question. In 1952, Richard Nixon declared, I am not a quitter, and vowed to stay in the race for a high office. Name the office.
Governor.
No, sir. It was vice president in his Checkers speech. Sorry, my friend, that's going to be a little tough to get over, but the game's not over yet. Lee?
This bud's for you.
This bud's for you. All right. Here we go with the first one. Buddy Holly for $300. Bud Bundy and Rosebud. Combination of buds over there from $300 to $500. 2 Rosebud questions we'll hold on to. Paul for $400. Young actor Davis Faustino plays Bud Bundy, a leering teenage version of Hugh Hefner, on what TV sitcom?
Married with Children.
You're right, sir. All right, that's a little step forward. Mary and Lee, we have 1 Rosebud question. Got to buzz in first for this. In the classic film Citizen Kane, Kane's dying word was Rosebud. The Kane character is loosely based. Lee?
Hearst?
That's correct. William Randolph Hearst, on a real-life newspaper mogul. Lee, you have control of the last 3. Please select one.
Artist palette, please.
The artist palette. All right, let's see what the questions are. Realists, surrealists, and contemporaries. All right, contestants, please lock in your wager now. All right, we have 2 surrealist questions at $400. We'll deal with that one first. Mary and Paul, step up to the $400 challenge. First one in gets it. Look to the video wall. This is a painting by one of the masters of the surrealist movement. Name that artist. Paul.
Salvador Dali.
You are right, sir, for $400. Lee, for $500. Look to the video wall. By what name do we know this painting by Andrew Wyeth?
Christina's World?
You are absolutely right for $500. You're on a hot roll. Lee, give me a second and I'll pop the other two up there with the Business of American General Knowledge. Which one?
General Knowledge, please.
General Knowledge. All right, for $300 we have General Patton, General MacArthur, and General Washington. General Knowledge, of course. Please place your wager now. All right, the General Patton questions we'll handle first. Lee and Paul stepped up to the $300 challenge. General George S. Patton would probably have saluted the actor who played him in the film Patton. Name the actor, Paul.
George C. Scott.
That's correct. For $500. Mary, George Washington's first inauguration as president was held at Federal Hall in what city?
New York City?
Yes, ma'am. And there you go. That sound tells us we're about to move into the final challenge round of the day. This round, you'll be able to wager any or all of your monies in your account on one final question of your choice. Now, the player who makes the highest wager will get to answer that question if you're ready. Here is your final challenge of the day. It is psychology. And we're going to post odds on the questions, and the higher the odds, obviously, the more difficult the question's going to be. Here are the questions. The first one, at even odds, the procedures. You can double your wager on the professionals and triple it on the practices. Now, caution here, you're going to have 15 seconds to select your question. This is going to be your final wager of the day, and I'll remind you once again that money you see posted up there is yours. Mary, you've got $1,200. Lee, you've got $2,350. Paul, you've got $550. So the money you're going to gamble now is in your pocket, literally in your bank account. So you're playing with your money. The challenge is yours. All right, all of our players' choices have been locked in. Let's start with Paul. You have $550 there in front of you. How are you going to play it out?
Well, Dick, I bet $250 on the professionals.
On the professionals, all right. That's at double the odds. And let's go over to Mary. $1,200 in your account.
I bet $200 on the professionals.
All right, you lost out in that regard because Paul outbid you, but we don't know what Lee's done yet with sitting there in the catbird seat with $2,350. How conservatively did you play this?
I bet $1,200 on the practices.
Oh, wow. All right. So we're going to come back with questions on the professionals and the practices in the final challenge in a moment.
Back to the final challenge, and here's your host, Dick Clark.
All right, Don, we're set to play the final challenge. I'd like to point out that the money that our players accumulate in their accounts will have a very special value, and let's talk a little more about that.
All of today's players receive their winnings in a Citibank Visa account. They get all the distinct benefits and exclusive service that only Citibank provides.
And remember, players, you can do anything you want with the money in your account, including just converting it into cash. And good luck to all of you. The final challenge category is psychology. Paul, you're a little bit out of it here. Actually, you're just trying to add to your winnings. If you get your bet made there, your $250 at double, it'll come up to $1,050. And if you're wrong, it's $300. So let's just hope for the best and hope you get as much as you can. Here's your question on the professionals. One of America's most controversial psychologists died recently at the age of 86 after publishing his theories on behavioral science in such books as Walden II and Beyond Freedom and Dignity. For $1,050, name the psychologist.
Kesey?
No, sir, it's B.F. Skinner. Sorry about that. Now, the challenge that is up now is this kind of interesting, Lee. You had $2,350 in the account. You gambled $1,200 at 3 times the odds. The win gives you $3,600, a total of $5,950. But the downside is where the wrinkle comes in. Here's old Mary over there smiling away. She figured it out on her pinkies while we did this. If you fail, you will end up with $1,150, meaning Mary has won it by 50 bucks. So, Mary, you keep your fingers crossed, and we'll cross them at the same time for Lee. Lee, one branch of therapy popularized by Fritz Perls at the Esalen Institute emphasizes analysis of experience as a unified totality and takes its name from the German word meaning pattern. For $5,950, name it.
I have no idea.
It's Gestalt.
Oh, of
yes, it comes to you. Now, Mary, you did it. $50. Who could have predicted that one? Congratulations, you've just won your first game. Your account is up to $1,200. Lee's grand total is $7,565. Not bad at all. Paul, you got the cab fare. Mary, you'll be back again to try for your second game, face a couple of new players, and it'll all happen tomorrow here on the Challengers. We'll see you then. For now, Dick Clark. So long.
This is Don Morrow speaking. The Challengers is a Ron Greenberg production in association with Dick Clark Productions.